Ride with me. Get in, y'all. Ride with me. Come on, y'all. Ride with me. Hop in, y'all. Ride with me. Get in, y'all. Ride with me. We cruising through the city. Let me know what you gon' see. Come on, y'all. Ride with me. Now ride. He gon' ride. She gon' ride. We gon' ride. Now ride. He gon' ride. They gon' ride. We gon' ride. Come on, y'all. Ride with me. Ride with me.
Hi, I'm C.Fabor Muhammad, artist, educator from Paterson, New Jersey, the executive director of Arts Reforming Communities, a nonprofit, and the Paterson Arts Commissioner from Paterson, New Jersey. Today, we are here for a special exhibit at the Passic County Arts Center. And this exhibit was made possible by the Passic County Cultural Heritage Council. This is a sneak peek of a debut that's going to take place at the Dey Mansion in Wayne on October the 24th. Okay. So here we have our first painting that we want to display is dealing with slavery in Paterson, New Jersey, and in that area. And in this painting, I'm showing slaves who were just put on sale, and incorporated into the painting are actual newspaper ads that were advertising for the sale and purchase of slaves in Paterson and in the Passic County area. In this picture here, this painting is dealing with the runaway, slaves trying to escape for freedom. And there are some more ads incorporated into this one where they were trying to find those slaves who ran away. And then in the far background, you see a ship. And that ship represents the first ship that landed in shores of North America in 1555. And this ship was called Jesus. In this painting, I'm showing a slave who's running away, trying to get back to the ship so he can go back home. A major theme in this whole series was the skilled labor, the construction labor skills that the slaves possessed. And this one is called the carpenter. Blacks emerged from the Civil War and from slavery, dominating these skills. Here, this one is called the mason. This one is called the home and domestic scientist. And it shows the women who were enslaved and doing various things in the home. This one is called the blacksmith. So these four really capture, highlight those slaves in those fields and those roles. And I think it's very important to know that history and to actually narrate how blacks became obsolete or disenfranchised in many of those fields, and how we weren't allowed into the unions in many of those fields. And today you don't find many of us employed or employable in those fields. And this painting it depicts George Washington at the Dey Mansion, which was his headquarters during the Revolutionary War. And you see a black man with a horse that was George Washington's steward or personal aide, who was his slave named William Billy Lee. William Billy Lee practically went with George Washington everywhere he went, and undoubtedly was with him at the Dey Mansion. Here I have my Larry Doby painting. It's a part of this wonderful exhibit of the Negro League. And Paterson has a lot of rich history with that. Larry Doby, who was a Pattersonian. Larry Doby was the second black player to go from the Negro Leagues to the Major League Baseball after Jackie Robinson. They don't talk as much about Larry as they do with Jackie, but Larry too, and he was a great player, phenomenal athlete, and he made a lot of history in the baseball league. Again, on October the 24th in Wayne, New Jersey at the Dey Mansion. Come out, check the website of the Dey Mansion location, just so you can plan your visit. Thank you. Have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
That's very interesting. And yes, we actually do have a question. The people want to know, what turned you on to art?
Well, it made me interested in art was as a little boy, like 4 years old, I saw my older brother, Richard Jr., he was drawing, and I went up on the kitchen table and saw what he was doing, and I just wanted to be like him. I just tried to imitate him and try to be as talented as he was.
Okay, that's good. Family plays a crucial role, I see. You know, you have role models within the family. Okay, next question. What art did you create that made you look at it and say, oh, this is for me. This is gonna be my career. This is gonna be my life. I can do this.
My signature, one, when I wrote my name in cursive at a very young age. And one of my sisters was like so amazed at that, and I was like, it did something to me. It communicated something inside of me. And then one particular time, I won an award when I was 11 years old for a poster contest. I'm from Christopher Columbus Projects in Patterson. And everybody was like, we saw you in the paper, we saw you in the paper. And, you know, just an 11-year-old boy just feeling that love from his community, you know, it really turned me on.
Another question we want to know is, what made you want to take this up as a profession? Make this your daily profession, your means of income?
That's a great question. After I graduated from college with a BFA in visual arts, I went straight into grad school for a master's in architecture. And it was really tough. You know, I was still at home with my mom, and the environment to study at that time in the house wasn't the best for me. And I was commuting. So it was really tough to stay in that program. So I left that program and tried to figure out what it was I wanted to do. And I had always had a passion for working with young people. So I taught art, and I fell in love with teaching art. And I've been teaching in the Patterson Public School system ever since.
Next question. Have you seen your impact, your teaching impact the children? And how did it make you feel, you know, noticing that you are actually making a positive change in their life?
It makes me feel that, you know, I'm making a difference. You know, as educators, we don't make a lot of money, but we do make a difference. You know, I say it's for big time rewards, what I do, and for big time results. And when my students come and tell me what impact I had on their lives personally, you know, that just blows you away. For the most part, most of my students love me and appreciated the service that I provided for them. And this is why I do what I do.
The people want to know, what route can they take if they want to become an art teacher, or if they want to take art up as a profession? What can they do? What steps can they take?
Wow, to be an art teacher? Wow. Well, I would say, you know, you have to love the children. You know, you have to love not just the subject, but you have to love the student and try to connect that student in the subject and make sure that they always see themselves in that subject. Believe in yourself, number one. You know, it doesn't matter what anybody else says or thinks. Even if they do think you're great, if you don't think you're good enough, then it's not really gonna happen. So you gotta believe in yourself in order to, persevere and persist, to meet and continue and to overcome obstacles that you are going to face. So that's number one. And just learning the business. You have to learn the business of art because we don't get taught that in school. So that's something, and many artists sometimes are not that business savvy and they have to have someone else help them with that, but you still should have the knowledge yourself and know the business. And then, it's about making relationships and the people you know and relationships you establish is really that's going to help build your career. Hi, I'm C.Fabor Muhammad and you're tuned in to Ride With Me.